All right, good morning everybody. It's your boy Akeem and welcome to this vlog. Here to give you my preview of my top 20 projected running backs for the 2016 fantasy football season. I must say this was the toughest task that I had out of all the positions. I'm still skeptical. I'm still not 100% confident in my list. I'm still trying to change my mind every now and then. This was the toughest one, so I'm just going to get things started. At number 20, I'm going to go with Dion Lewis from the New England Patriots. This kid was very effective when he was 100% healthy until he had the season injury. At number 19, I'm going to go with Matt Forte from the Jets, the new addition. Now, last season he just rushed for over 900 yards. I think he could do the same this year. 900 yards rushing and 400 yards receiving. I think he has just one more year left to give you a decent, productive season. At number 18, I'm going to go with Jeremy Hill from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, he had a little bit of a sophomore slump last season. He's same with Andy Dalton. He had a little bit of a down year. He's one of my top 15 quarterbacks. But I think that Jeremy Hill is going to rebound this upcoming season and give you some more rushing touchdowns. Number 17, I'm actually going to go with Johnathan Stewart from the Carolina Panthers. I think this kid is finally going to get that 1,000-yard season. I think he's going to have a great year because of the fact that teams are going to focus more on stopping Cam Newton. And I believe that Johnathan Stewart and the offensive line built more confidence in Stewart running the football. He even scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. At number 16, I'm going to go with Carlos Hyde from my San Francisco 49ers. I think he's going to rebound as well this year. A little bit concerned though. This was one player that I was like debating if he should even belong in the top 20, but I put him in the 16 because I think when he is healthy, he can rush for over 1,000 yards as well. Here's one of my biggest ones that people might scratch their head. Ryan Mathews is my number 15 guy. The fact that the Eagles decided to trade Lamar Miller to the Tennessee Titans, that shows I think they have a lot of high hopes for Ryan Mathews, who was doing a lot better than Murray last season, working well in that offense. I think he could be an effective player. I think he could rush for over 1,000 yards or at least give you 1,400 yards from scrimmage. Offensively. At number 14, I'm going to go with Thomas Rawls from the Seattle Seahawks, but there's a little bit of a scare with this one. I'm going to explain that a little bit later, but he reminds me a little bit of Marshawn Lynch, as according to head coach Pete Carroll. That's exactly what he said, because he has an aggressive style just like Marshawn Lynch, but I'm not going to say his style is aggressive as Marshawn Lynch, but not as powerful as Marshawn Lynch. At number 13, I'm going to go with Mark Ingram from the New Orleans Saints. Now, I think he could have another productive season, but he is not really an every down back, not a 22 to 25 touch per game type of guy. He's more of a like, in my opinion, a 15 to 17 touch type of guy, but he can still give you some good yardage and fantasy points. He's more of a, not 15 to 17, probably like 17 to 19 at most, 19 at most. Next up at number 12 is a return for Jamaal Charles for the Kansas City Chiefs. He could still get that 1,000-yard season, hopefully coming back for another knee injury. He still has that Olympic speed. At number 11, a player who slimmed down, and I am actually proud of him, is Eddie Lacy from the Green Bay Packers. He's actually having a great preseason so far and showing that he has a little bit more shiftiness due to the fact that he did lose a little bit of weight, lose a little bit of fat. He kind of actually gained a little bit of fat last season. Head coach McCarthy said, hey man, you're a little bit of a problem, I'm going to start using James Starks. But then Eddie Lacy decided to wake up, lose a little bit of that fat, a little bit of weight, and so he could work on his speed, and he is actually having a great preseason. Number 10, cracking my top 10, is Latavius Murray. I think this is well deserved. He did have just over 1,200 yards from scrimmage last season offensively, but I think he will have another good season because of the fact that Derek Carr in an aerial attack for the Oakland Raiders will open up more lanes for Murray to run through. At number 9 for the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to go with LeSean McCoy. He's another player, when he is healthy, will be very effective. And the fact that they have a dual threat quarterback like Tyrod Taylor, I think that this would be a great opportunity for LeSean McCoy to have a good season. At number 8, I'm going to go with Lamar Miller from the Houston Texans. He was the new addition to replace Arian Foster. Hopefully he have a good season. He actually had a productive season last year. I think he did crack the, he was actually number I'm actually looking up right now. Number 6 overall in points in running backs. At number 7, Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys. Because everybody projected him to be the starter, Darren McFadden is a little bit shaky up, but Alfred Morris had a great preseason game, the most recent game against the Miami Dolphins. This is a little bit of a scare though, because a lot of people have him in the top 5. That is not what he deserves already as a rookie, but they do have an excellent offensive line, and he is the projected starter to enter the season in most people's eyes. That's why I have him at number 7, but not in the top 5. At number 6, Le'Veon Bell from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's entering the season with another suspension, but he will be productive if he comes back still with that knee injury. I think he had another knee injury. If he's back from knee injury, just like Jamaal Charles, he would be another dangerous player. At number 5, a player who just signed a nice multi-year contract is Doug Martin. I think he finished 3rd overall in points according to ESPN. He just needs to continue what he's been doing, staying consistent, and that's the key for him. At number four, David Johnson from the Arizona Cardinals. He actually finished, I believe, 8th overall in points according to ESPN, while split in time. Now, the Arizona Cardinals believe that he is going to be the feature back this season. Chris Johnson still has a little bit left in him, but it's David Johnson who is the man. More power, and he's younger. He'll definitely take advantage of that situation. Number 3, who actually finished 1st overall in points, is Devonta Freeman out of the Atlanta Falcons. I believe he led the league in rushing touchdowns with 11. He had a great productive year, a good sleeper year last season. At number 2, I'm going to go with Todd Gurley from the St. Louis Rams. Now, this guy is the truth. I really think because the team still focused on him last season, he still was dangerous. I think he's going to be due for a nice career, at least 5 great Pro Bowl seasons, possibly a Hall of Fame career. Just needs to stay healthy, that's all. And at number 1, he's still the man, Adrian Peterson from the Minnesota Vikings. He did finish 2nd overall to Devonta Freeman in points. Even though he is past 30 years old, you can see that this guy is well into shape. I think he will be due for another at least 1,200 yards rushing this season and possibly another 300 yards receiving. That's where I actually project him as my number. That's why I have him as my number 1 guy. Now, if you take a look at some honorable mentions, Jay Ajayi out of Miami. A lot of people have high hopes for him for the Dolphins. Jeremy Langford for the Chicago Bears. Because of Matt Forte no longer with the team, this is Langford's show. Melvin Gordon, hopefully he can have a good sensational sophomore year. He had a terrible rookie season. Now, my sleepers of the year, I'm actually going to be looking at 2 players. It depends on the situation. First, Terrence West from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, yes, Justin Forsett is that number 1 guy for now, but due to the fact that West is having a great preseason, he did lose a little bit of weight. He has a little bit more speed and shiftiness, just like Eddie Lacy. I think he could be a steal and be the number 1 back for the Ravens in the future as the season progresses. So, guys, keep an eye on him. Same for Christian Michael of the Seattle Seahawks. He had a strong, is having a good preseason as well, and I think he could possibly give Thomas Rawls a run for the money as far as the starter. But it does look like Thomas Rawls is going to be the starter as the season opens. But Christian Michael can make that steal, and I think he can still have a good season as well to replace the great Marshawn Lynch during his tenure for the Seahawks. So that wraps things up for this video. The next one I'm going to talk about is my top 20 wide receivers. Thank you for watching this vlog. I'm your man, LeSean McCoy. Be easy.